What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital. We're here with Serafino Lacono, Chief Executive Officer and Director at NG Energy International. How are you doing today, Serafino?
Very well. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, it's a pleasure. So NG International is a publicly traded E&P company providing a clean and sustainable solution to Colombia's energy needs. Can you tell us a bit more about the company and your plans to fuel Colombia's clean energy transition?
Sure. Thank you for giving us the time. It's NG Energy is the rebirth of a company that I ran for 11 years in Colombia, called Pacific Rubiales. It was a very big success story. It was at one point a company that we started with $35 million investment and ended up being a company with a $7 billion market cap. Went from being a small little company to a company that was producing 350,000 barrels a day of oil. So very successful story. When I left the company, myself, some of our partners, including Frank Justra, that was one of our biggest financier in our ventures, decided to do a company that will be involved specifically in natural gas in Colombia. The reason that we chose natural gas in Colombia, natural gas always has had a premium in Colombia as a sale product, more than oil and more than other products, because of the need and the necessity in the country for home usage, and most important for energy development. So before it became trendy and became fashionable for you to be with clean energy and talking about green, we knew that the world was going to had to stop and start thinking about transitioning from coal and from, oil is really not a big thing. With the exception of cars. 25% of oil is used only for cars. So that's the rest, 75, it's used for products that are always going to need oil to make it, like plastics and lubricants and things, fertilizers that are going to be part of our lives forever. So anybody that tells you that oil is going to disappear out of the face of the earth, it's a lie. Okay, my opinion, but that's my opinion. So natural gas, we started looking and said, what's the less of all evil? Everybody, the easiest thing in the world would be to have nuclear energy, but nobody wants to have a nuclear power plant next to their house. So it's going to be a difficult thing to build, and a difficult thing to manage over the next few hundred years until there is technology that comes in. Hydrogen, that everybody talks about, it's a situation that it's a disaster in the making, because the next thing the environmentalists are going to come in and they're going to say that you're taking the water and you're destroying the water to make energy, and then you're pumping too much oxygen into the air because the air is not made out of oxygen. So there is always complication in things. Natural gas is the cleanest energy that you can do and can take in the world, burn it, and it produces the least amount of CO2. That it's part of our life, and it's going to be like that for at least until some new technology comes in and everything. Everybody talks about electric cars, but nobody tells me where the electricity is going to come from those electric cars. In reality, it's going to come from natural gas. So Colombia understood that. In Colombia, always when natural gas was $2 in the US, in Colombia, it was $5. Now the gas is at $7 in the US. Natural gas in the next 9 months, if it stays at these levels, it's going to be at $9 to $10. And you're starting to see the prices of natural gas already rising up in Asia, where natural gas is going for $30 to $35 per million BTUs. In Europe, where it's going for $11 to $15 per million BTUs. And in the US, the largest producer of natural gas, where a year ago you could buy gas for $2 per million BTUs, today it's $7 to $7.50. So that's reality of life. So we took advantage of the situation because Colombia is growing as a consumer and the production in Colombia is declining. So that means that they have to import. And if you have to import natural gas at $10 to $11 or $13, it's always going to be a lot cheaper for you to lock up contracts with local companies in the $7, $8 range. And that's where we are.
Awesome. So can you tell us more about the natural gas supply and demand in Colombia and the opportunity it offers to NG Energy?
Well, the opportunity is there. Colombia consumes today 1 billion cubic feet of gas a day. Okay. It's going to grow to 1.6 billion, but production is declining right now without new discovery like us that we have and that we are doing right now. It's going to decline if there is no new discovery to 600 million cubic feet of gas a day, which means that Colombia will have to import natural gas, which means natural gas imported in Colombia right now sells between $11 and $13 per million BTUs. So we are going to be a company that's going to fill not much because the demand is so big, but it's going to fill a big portion of that gap. When you think about it, in between Maria Conchita and Sinu 9, which are our two major fields, one of them is being now hooked up to start producing in the next 90 days, which is Maria Conchita. It's going to produce 15 million cubic feet of gas a day. And Sinu 9, which is going to be our next field that we're going to be drilling, the first well, we expect somewhere between 30 and 40 million cubic feet of gas a day, which means that combined, you're going to have to start 45 to 50 million cubic feet of full production. 2.5 to 3 years from now, we're going to be somewhere around 200 to 250 million cubic feet. Still, with that production, the country is going to have a deficit of about 600 to 700 million cubic feet of gas a day. So even though we are important, we are not the solution. And there is a lot of people working and a lot of people exploring to find more gas. And now even more so because the price of natural gas has gone through the roof worldwide. Look, I'm in Europe right now. I'm in Spain. In Spain, natural gas sells for about $13 to $15 per million BTUs, which means that a kilowatt hour of energy right now is selling for $200. That is 20 cents per kilowatt hour. So everybody wanted green, get ready, because what's going to happen is get ready to start paying high prices for energy.
No, for sure. So why is liquid natural gas such an essential resource for Colombia and other Latin American countries at this time?
Number one, because it's the cleanest of the energies that you can find. So if you want to be part of the Paris Accord, it's the less of all evil for you to use regarding diesel, coal, or even nuclear energy that countries like us in South America don't have. So we don't have the luxury. So natural gas is the cleanest of all that, and most important, it's in the country, and it's a natural resource that the only transportation that it needs is local transportation and not being imported into the country.
Very interesting. So, NG Energy was recently granted an environmental license for its flagship Sinu 9 project and has commenced exploration. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, the Sinu-9 block is a fantastic block. It's, let's call it our core asset. It's got 1.7 trillion cubic feet of gas in resources. Just to give you an idea, net, it's about net present value discounted at 10%. It's about $1 billion worth of natural gas sitting in our fields, still with huge upside to be discovered. So it's an area that we know that this is not an exploration concession. It's been drilled. It's proven gas. Now what we got to do is drill more wells, develop it, and put it into production. So it's going to be a task that can be done in the next 12 to 24 months. And it can be a very big cash flow producer. It can be a producer. Our expectation in full development of this project is going to be 200 million cubic feet a day, which is about $1 million a day worth of natural gas. So think about this company, if it once is in full production, 2 years from now, this company would be doing just out of Sinu-9, $1 million a day pre-tax of revenue.
Yeah, no, that's very impressive. So, the company is also in the process of constructing production facilities at Maria Conchita. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, Maria Conchita is our second field. It's a little bit smaller, well, a lot smaller than the other, but it's got 200 billion cubic feet of gas. That's huge by any standard. We are in the final stage of building the infrastructure to hook up to the main gas pipeline that will deliver the gas to our customers in 3 of the major cities in Colombia. We have contracts already signed. What does it mean? It means for us that we are going to be, in the next 90 days, we're going to be producing and delivering natural gas, which means that we're going to be starting to generate cash flow out of this company. Our net part of that project is about 50 million cubic feet of gas a day, which is about $90,000 a day worth of natural gas. So when you look at it, take 350 at $90,000, you got somewhere around $35 million in EBITDA just out of the field.
That's wonderful. So NG Energy has acquired an array of impressive team members, each bringing a unique set of skills. Can you tell us more about your key members and what they bring to the table?
Well, we have our team that used to run Pacific Rubiales, which was a monster of a company. Ronald Pantine is our executive chairman. Myself, I'm the CEO of the company. We worked in the company for 14 years in developing the major oil producer in Latin America, privately owned, not owned by a government. Vicente Paglioni is our COO. He's 40-year experience in oil and gas. We have some of the top geologists that have worked in Colombia and Venezuela for many years. On our board sits one of the most important president of OPEC, Humberto Calderón Berti was president of OPEC, which for many people, maybe they don't know what OPEC is, but OPEC is the most important organization in oil in the world. He was president of PDVSA, one of the largest oil company in the world in the days that he ran it, and a minister of mines of Venezuela. We have a team of top mining. I mean, it's a small little company that is worth $100 and some million, but it's got the management of a billion-dollar company.
Oh, that all sounds fantastic. So where do you see the company in the next several months?
Look, in the next several months, what you're going to see in the next 90 days, you're going to see the monetization of Maria Conchita, which is going to start producing and generating cash flow. We're going to drill Sino 9, which is our core asset. And as we develop that field is going to be generating huge cash flow on top of the cash flow of Maria Conchita. We are going to become most likely probably outside of the national oil company, which is Ecopetrol. We're going to become with Canacol, which is one of our closest company they are much more advanced than we are. But if you want to look at our future, look at a company called Canacol Energy. That's where we're going to be 2 years from now. And 2 years from now, we're going to be probably the second or the third largest producer, depends on what happens, second or third largest producer of natural gas in Colombia.
That's exciting. Well, I'm excited to cover the story. So finally, how can investors get in touch with you?
Investors, they can look at our website and we are open. There is my phone number. There is my there is my email. They can contact me anytime, and we are investors friendly, if you want to call it that way. We answer our investor, and we respect every type of investors, from the institutional to the smallest investor that has 2 shares.
That's wonderful, Serafino. Well, thank you so much for all those updates. Good luck with everything, and I look forward to covering your story.
Thank you very much. Take care.
If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below, along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.